What's up everyone, Lion Roar here, and a brand new legendary hero just dropped in Gemstone Legends. It is VITEX. So of course I'm going to do a full breakdown and summons because I think he's going to be pretty good for nuke teams. Let me explain why. But first, download Gemstone Legends, a mobile RPG puzzle match game. Use the link in the description to start with free stuff, including a bonus hero. All right, so VITEX is a green legendary hero, and we're going to go over the stats first. So what's sticking out to me is that he has a pretty good attack stat there. And that's going to be mostly useful just for whenever you're matching gemstones and he's dealing damage that way. Um, but that only really matters a whole lot if he's also using attack in his specials, which he's not. So I don't think the attack stat is that big of a deal. I do wish I saw a little more defense here for the type of hero that this is, but it's fine. Like, a lot of these stats are average. Speed is a little low at 199. We don't get a whole lot of heroes below 200 there, so that's something to note. However, the mana gain is fast, and sometimes that's what matters, is making sure that you can get your ultimate skill off. Being at level 23, that means it just takes 2 sets of caster equipment to get it up to 25, decreasing the amount of gemstones needed to match to 4. So that's nice. And also remember, if you level up the skills the whole way, that adjusts that particular amount too. All right, he is an accuracy leader. Increase the accuracy of all allies by 40% in all game modes. Not one of the most useful leader abilities. Typically, the speed leaders. At this point, there's enough of them that you're probably putting a speed leader as the leader. However, there's synergies with the rest of what he does. So, Ancestral Blast is his ultimate skill here. 100% chance to inflict heal block on all enemies for 4 turns. That's okay, but it's kind of niche. You need, like, it's only useful against teams that are healing, right? So, but it's going to be super useful against teams that heal. Sometimes line of text like this is good to just kind of bring along with the main effects. So let's see if the other effects are better. 100% chance to inflict curse on all enemies for 2 turns. Now that's what I'm talking about. Curse is a really, really good status. And just in case you need a reminder, what curse does is it causes the enemy to lose 1 positive status per turn. And it's really difficult to get rid of statuses in this game. There's very few heroes that do a good job at it, but curse is one of them. I would like to see it be more than 2 turns to really have a huge impact, but it's fine when you combine this with other heroes that are dealing with statuses. Then you could control the opposing team pretty well. But he's not going to be able to do it on his own, but he is adding a good layer to the match. Deals damage to all enemies, 5,000% accuracy. So, you know, it wasn't long ago that we saw our first heroes dealing damage based on things other than like HP, defense, and attack. And so now we have several in the game. This is a really good one when you consider that you're trying to also land statuses on your opponents like heal, block, and curse. So now that you're incentivized to get the accuracy up as high as possible for the damage, that means that the statuses are more likely to hit too. I love the design of that. That's just a really well designed hero. And so there's a potential for a lot of damage here, but you do got to build him right. Now, the cool thing is there's not a ton of accuracy damage dealers out there. So hopefully you have some really, really good accuracy equipment to be able to put on him. And because he's dealing damage to all enemies, this is a nuke hero. This is like, if you know my play style, you know I tend to favor nuke teams, even if it's not quite honestly, I think the highest tier type of team are the ones that are very tactical and kind of pick off opposing heroes one by one. And the whole team is designed to just knife through and take out the most aggressive or the most problematic hero on the other side first, and then deal with the second and the third. And basically, you just paralyze the other team so they're not really able to do what they're intended to do. You break up their synergy. That's the most powerful type of team. So he doesn't go on that. He goes on a nuke team, which I think is just a fun team. I love nuke teams because when they work, they just slice through the whole team like butter. And so he kind of falls into that realm. So if you can put together good synergies where now like he's bringing along some good things. Now if you have several heroes that deal damage to all enemies, and you've got things like curse, and you've got things like heal block, which is one of the biggest problems when you're playing with a nuke team, is when the other team starts healing again and you can't, like, if you can't kill a hero on the other side, you're typically not killing anybody. Like, you're either killing them all at the same time or you're not. Is basically what I'm trying to say. And whenever they're healing, that's preventing you from being able to do something like that. So you can put multiple synergies together on a nuke team to really control your opponent and deal a lot of damage. I think that's cool and that's exciting. All right, the passive is Banish the Shadows, immune to decrease accuracy status if he's the active leader in the battle. That's kind of cool, but it's, again, a kind of a niche first line of text. At the start of his turn, he gains increased accuracy for 4 turns if the active leader on the team is alive. And so, of course, if you want the increased accuracy and he's the leader and he's alive, then you're just getting the most out of him possible. Typically, it's going to be a speed leader, though. Hopefully, that's a hero you're keeping alive. Also, he ignores 35% defense. That, combined with the damage that he's dealing through accuracy, could be really, really good, like sneaky good. I love when I see things like this, where you're ignoring defense, you're ignoring the things that they put up, for example, the statuses on the other side that typically keep you from actually being able to do the damage. So I think even though the text on both sides of this, the ultimate and the passive, is kind of vanilla, he's going to be sneaky good. Sometimes simple text is not bad text. We've seen walls of text where the hero doesn't do as much as it looks like they do, right? But sometimes simple is good. I think he's going to be a pretty good hero. And then lastly, of course, if you level the skill up the whole way, you get the mana gain increased by 1. So keep that in mind. All right. I think he's pretty good. I think, once again, Gemstone Legends has designed a nice, pretty unique hero in that we're really centered around dealing damage based on accuracy, nuking the opponent here, but not creating an overpowered hero. There's a lot of these heroes they release that seem like they're going to have good play in the meta without upsetting the meta. In fact, I don't think I've ever played a game like Gemstone Legends that's able to balance their meta like they do. Whoever is in charge over at Gemstone Legends at balancing the meta just does an incredible job. I will tell you, it is really, really difficult to get these heroes. There's so many legendary heroes now, it's so difficult to get any one, but it's okay, because what you do get, you can create a viable strategy, but you got to be a good strategic mind. You've got to be able to see where your synergies are on your roster. Nobody can tell you what to do with that, because it's so complicated. Even if you ask other people for advice, they might be able to give you little tidbits, but they're not invested in your roster like you are. You're the one who has your heroes. So I just have to shout out Gemstone Legends for continually creating a healthy meta. I think that's awesome. All right, let's jump into the altar and do some summons here. I know I haven't added a hero to my wish list. No, quite honestly, I have all the really good ones I want. So I'm not too bothered by it, but I'm using my my diamonds, my gems for other things right now. So I'm not using them on a wish list. I want to do, let's see, I don't want to use all my scrolls. I think he's cool. I'm going to do let's say around 50 of the gold and then a platinum. I think that seems good. And I'm just going to go through this quickly. As you know, I've covered a lot of, well, especially the 3-star heroes, but I've covered a lot of the epic heroes before too. So I'm only going to stop if there's a really interesting one. All right, what did we get? All right. Tianwu. I want to know your thoughts, by the way. So let me know in the comments what you think of this new hero and uses and how you're going to build it. Man, I get so tricked. It always looks like that's gonna just turn a little yellow. But here's actually the new epic hero, and this is Anchos. And so he says, grants fortify status to a targeted ally and himself for 2 turns. Grants color master to an ally for 2 turns. Which, by the way, that is when all the colors are the strength. The passive ability, at the end of his turn, he heals an ally with the lowest current HP for 20% of the target's max HP, has 75% to grant reflex status to all allies for 2 turns if the active leader from his team is dead. If you've watched my videos before, you know I don't really like skills that depend on your or any of your heroes being dead, but especially the leader. Alright, anyway, continuing on. Oh, game froze for a second there. Alright, next thing up. Another epic hero. This one is Simdor. And we've hooked another. And it is Vigo, who is very good for an epic hero, by the way. One of the very first heroes they released, but just powerful. Just can deal a lot of damage. He's kind of been passed by at this point, but if you're just starting out and you have a Vigo, he's good. Alright, I'm going to do about 10 more. And then we'll move on to the Platinum Scrolls. Alright, what do we got? What do we got? And it is Koharu. And last one of the gold scrolls. And it's rare. Yosefa. Okay, let's do a platinum scroll. All right, last one. Very last scroll. It's now or never. Do or die. And it is Eldred. Boring. Okay, well, I didn't get lucky this time. I wish you better luck. Please let me know in the comments if you get him and what you think of him, because I think he has the chance to be really good on nuke teams. If you're somebody who also runs nuke teams, I love running nuke teams. I've got my lion hero that's like central to that theme. In fact, it was designed just for that purpose, so he would fit well in there, and I'm sad not to have him, but it is what it is. If you enjoy videos like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification, and I will catch you in the next one.